Last but not least, I'd like to welcome Marion Flaig. With an international track record in consumer goods and top-tier consulting experience at the Boston Consulting Group, Marion is a strategic mastermind with a knack for customer journey design and digital transformation. Based in Switzerland, Marion will discuss how COVID-19 accelerated the need for companies to digitally engage with their customers and develop holistic omni-channel experiences. Welcome to Engage, Marion.
Hi all, I hope everybody is healthy and well in Prague and all over the world to virtually join the Socialbakers Engage Conference 2020. My name is Marion, and I would like to talk today about how technology has opened the pathway to move from brand and product-focused experiences to more holistic omni-channel experiences. During my talk, I might refer to examples from retail and e-commerce and consumer goods. However, the concept and idea is totally applicable to other consumer-facing industries such as banking, insurance, or medical technologies. In fact, experience plays a major role in every business that engage with their customers. Although we may tend to link a good customer experience often with transactions at shopping platforms like Zalando and Amazon. To understand the underlying context of digital customer engagement and the evolving omni-channel movement better, we will focus on three parts. So first, we will review the key relationship changes between firms and customers that are brought by increasing digital engagement. We will understand why customer centricity becomes in digital engagement even more important. And finally, we will understand why omni-channel is often seen as a success factor to create seamless and positive or frictionless customer experiences. So now let's think about the digital engagement. Of course, the widespread use of smartphone is at the forefront. When we think about how relationship has changed over time when firms engage with their customers, this is of course a key consideration. I think it's no surprise that the smartphone penetration rate has dramatically increased over the years. Just a few numbers to show actually how significant the penetration rate is. The graph below shows the mobile penetration or use of smartphones in the top 5 countries worldwide. So you see the number of smartphone users in a country in relation to the total population. This is shown by the bars, and the percentage at the bottom of the chart shows the percentage rate, the penetration rate. So for the US, for example, 84% of people use a smartphone. In UK, it's 83% and so on. And if you're wondering where Asia is in the ranking, Japan, China, South Korea, they're in the top 10, and the penetration rate is around 60 to 70%. So all what I want to say is that the significant use of smartphone actually leads to the fact that customers are easier to reach for brands or for firms because everybody kind of uses a smartphone. So there is an evolving trend, it's called direct-to-consumer business, where firms or manufacturers actually try to reach the customers directly by cutting out the retail or the wholesale partner in between. We see this move a lot in apparel and e-commerce, but again, it holds true for more industries. And what does it mean now for the firms when digitally engage via the smartphones or other digital means? So it's ubiquitous, meaning the interaction is not bound to a specific store or a branch. Interactions are happening in real time. It's 24/7. And of course, it's on the go while people are on the train or just waiting in a cafe when looking for friends or meeting friends. So using apps and mobile phones seems now super easy to engage with customers. But actually, when we have a look closer, we see that user or smartphone users actually use about 9 to 10 apps per day. It's not so much when you think there are apps like calendars, emails, photos, social media. So really cutting through that noise and engaging directly with customers is not as easy. I mean, people use about 30 apps on average per month. It's not so much. So just throwing out an app there and waiting for people to use it, it's not going to do the deal. So there needs to be more strategic thinking to digitally engage with customers. And this brings me actually to the next topic. To create a valuable experience, customer-centric thinking needs to be at the core. So when you try to digitally or non-digitally engage with customers, the customer needs to be at the core of the thinking. So this means putting yourself into the shoes of the customer, really knowing and understanding what your customer wants and underpin this with valid data. And to do so, there are actually 3 core topics to keep in mind. So first of all, understand the values of your customer. Sustainability is, for example, often a value. You can get this kind of information by gathering demographic data or just preference or habit data of customers. Then secondly, the journey is very important. Why and how do people actually engage with your firm and your brand? Why do they want to purchase? Do they spend a lot of time on gathering information, or is it more an impulse buying process? And thirdly, touch points. How do people like to interact? Are they more mobile users? Do they like desktop? Do they like to go to the store and get some consultancy? So how can you bring the message across in these touch points? How is it always consistently? This is customer-centric thinking. And overlaying this now with the digital or the valuable experience design, we actually use three anchor points. So firstly, accessibility. I think this is a non-negotiable. Always engage anytime, everywhere. But also interaction needs to be very seamless and frictionless. And with seamless, I mean, it should not matter whether a customer goes on an Instagram page or wants to go in a store. It should be super easy to switch channels and very natural. There should be no break, no matter what kind of medium the customer is using on the other end. And frictionless, this brings in the customer-centric thinking. What are the pain points a customer normally has in a customer journey? How can you avoid these pain points before they actually happen? And this is a frictionless experience. And then lastly, the offering needs to be very convenient and also relevant. So to cut through all that noise, through all the apps that are thrown at customers, it needs to be interesting and very positive and service-oriented to really meet the customer needs. So now, how can Omnichannel actually help to achieve a valuable customer experience? Let's quickly take one step back and think about what Omnichannel actually is or how it evolved over time. In the beginning, retail was the main channel. So we had stores and we thought customers, they will come to us if they need something. Then there was a rise of e-commerce. So everybody was like, okay, we need to sell online. So there was a multi-channel approach, but most of the time the channels are relatively independent. This is also due to the fact that e-commerce or web shop is often run by a brand or the manufacturer itself, whereas stores are also sometimes run by wholesalers. So there was a multi-channel approach. Businesses acknowledged people like to purchase online and offline, but there was no connection. Now, Omnichannel renews the views on the channels in that sense that actively or it deliberately wants customers to link the channels and to switch channels. For example, click and collect or click and reserve. So someone is shopping online and then you offer, hey, if you want to have a faster delivery, so solving a pain point, you can come to the store, pick it up right away. Very easy, very quick, no waiting time. So Omnichannel actually wants to bridge the gap between existing channels and has more cross-channel experience and solve a pain point for customers. And we all know that switching the channels happens anyways. The line between offline and online purchases and experience are anyways blurred. The difference with Omnichannel is that we now actively support it. I mean, for now, it's that customers, they go through a store and they use their mobile, and it's kind of a thing to hide, not to really to show to the shop assistant that you're checking on prices online while you're in the store. So just a few figures to underline the statement that it's so normal that people switch channels, and there is no such a thing as a pure offline or pure online journey. 80% of customers actually research online and purchase offline, the so-called rapport or web booming effect. 50% of customers test or review goods in-store before purchasing online. So this is the showroom. And 70% of customers actually say they would browse shops when returning an online purchase item in-store or when picking up an online item in-store. So again, switching channel is happening anyways, and cross-channel is just a natural way to evolve the business. And finally, how is the concept of omnichannel visualized? So you see on the top the main stages of a customer journey, for example, awareness, information, purchase, and service. And then below you see online and offline channels, just simplified. Offline channels could be a store, online could be the shop. So now with Omnichannel, customers should be able to wander along the journey very seamlessly across the channels and switch to avoid frictions. Just let me walk through one example of an end-to-end big picture customer journey across channels. So imagine a customer gets aware on a billboard for a product. So she scans the QR code, gets to the website. So immediately the awareness step is taken to information. So then she browses online, looks at a few product comparisons. So she's in the information stage online. Now she narrowed down her product selection to 2 or 3 items, but now it's a complex or expensive product. So she wants to test or get some more information. So often the journey breaks now. So customer is like, okay, I'm not sure I want to test it, but where can I do it? But just guiding the customer now to the next store with available inventory, where this product is available, you can help the journey to continue. So now you offer, hey, in this store, just 2 kilometers away, products are available, click and reserve and go there, make an appointment. So when the customer goes to the store, she does not need to repeat her journey or what she wants to have. So the shop assistant already knows what she wants. So it's a big helper here. And maybe she buys in the product, even a complementary product. So there is a better experience end-to-end thought through for the customer, but also with complementary purchases or with a purchase done at all, there's more value for the business. And this is basically how Omnichannel works. It sounds very easy. A lot of integration and KPI alignment is needed between channels, responsible staff, even between businesses. But by focusing on the overall customer experience, the customer and all other involved parties will benefit. So to wrap up and summarize my talk about Omnichannel as a way to create valuable experiences, let me finish with the following statement. Omnichannel is about creating an end-to-end experience across all channels and journey stages with the customer at its core. End-to-end because we keep the holistic customer engagement in mind. Across all channels, meaning we think about third-party offline business, any kind of online businesses, social media, web shops, etc. We think about all journey stages, not only about purchases or after sales. We really start thinking with the awareness and information stage, and we have the customer at the core, putting ourselves in the shoes of the customer, understanding what potential frictions are, and help to avoid pain points so that actually no frictions arise. The journey is smooth and easy and very seamless. So last but not least, I'd like to thank you for your attention and hope you enjoyed my talk.